One of the best development coaches in the NBA paying a visit to the Philippines for the first time. Three-time champion and Los Angeles Lakers assistant coach Phil Handy is in Manila for a series of basketball clinics. Let's go all out on this story with the man himself. Assistant coach Phil Handy taking some time off his very busy schedule, joining us live inside the studio here at CNN Philippines headquarters. Coach, I don't usually do this, but since you are here, no, really, it's a blessing, it's an honor.
I appreciate
Thank you for being here on the show. Thank your team. We're really blessed, especially those attending your clinics, the kids, the coaches. They will definitely learn from one of the best. It is your first time, as I said. Welcome to Manila. And welcome to CNN Philippines. How has it been so far, Coach?
It's been excellent, man. I think the welcome here in the Philippines has been nothing short of amazing. Everybody's been really gracious and friendly. So it's been a great first day here in the Philippines. I'm looking forward to this entire week.
First day. When did you arrive, Coach? Was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Got off the plane yesterday morning. Had a chance to kind of hang out a little bit. Got a massage and. Just
relax,
enjoy some of this weather.
And then you will be staying until?
I believe until the 27th.
Until the 27th.
Nice week here in the Philippines.
What's your impression of Filipino basketball? Because I also saw your presser, you growing up in California, so you've met a lot of Filipinos, and you know how basketball is a religion down here. But what was your first thought or impression about Filipino basketball?
Well, I mean, I've had a lot of friends that have played down here. I have a son who's played down here.
Really?
And so just knowing the culture here, the PBA has always been a very respected league. A lot of NBA players have played down here.
Coach Darvin Ham was an import one time.
That's what I heard. I heard.
He was an import in the PBA at one point in his career.
That's amazing. But
yeah.
The culture, the basketball culture down here has always been very high. Some fans, some serious Laker fans in the Philippines. So for me to be down here and be able to get to experience this culture firsthand is really exciting for me.
Did it meet your expectations, or were you still kind of surprised of how the Filipinos, or just the fans, how they greet you on social media, like how crazy they are, Laker fan or not?
They just love the game of basketball. That's the one thing that I've always heard about the Philippines, is how much people love basketball down here. So I'm not surprised. I mean, this place is rich in basketball culture. I was telling somebody the other day, I could be wrong, but aside from Manny Pacquiao, it seems like the Philippines is really, really embedded with the basketball culture.
Yeah, that's true. And even Manny Pacquiao himself loves basketball.
He loves the hoop. Manny even loves the hoop.
He's a Golden State Warrior fan.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll forgive Manny for that one.
I hope former Senator Manny Pacquiao is watching, and we could. Have you met him?
I have not, but I've always been a big fan of his.
Yeah.
Incredible career that he had as a fighter. I just always loved his tenacity.
Yeah, and you should see his jump shot as well. It goes in, but it's just a little bit unorthodox. Okay, Coach, it is your first time, as I said, but how about the Philippine culture, Philippine food? Have you tried any? And you said just the people, but just seeing everything in person.
Well, I've always kind of grew up, on lumpias, so I've had that, but today, forgive me, I cannot remember the name of the restaurant.
Cavite? You were in Cavite earlier. Oh, restaurant. Okay.
That restaurant was amazing.
Okay.
The view was amazing.
Was it today? Today.
Okay. After the clinic, the food was amazing, and so just having an opportunity to actually get some home style lumpia here in the Philippines.
Where is this? I think I should also try to visit. Do you remember? In Tagaytay. So he was in Balay Daco. Yeah. My fiance and I actually took her there for the first date. So
you're a good man. You know what time it is. That's an excellent place.
Yeah, and the view.
It was amazing.
You love it there? Yeah.
So good food. Good view. The service was great. It was a great first day of trying to get a little bit of the culture.
Yeah. Coach, you're one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to player development. And you sound like you're a really great guy. You're a humble guy. But just listening to you, even at the presser, I was just like amazed, just picking your brain. I don't think it will stop. It will keep on going. But what are the keys for those watching right now who want to be a player development coach, or probably is a player development coach, but want to learn from you? What are the keys of, being an effective coach, being able to develop that relationship with your player at the same time, knowing the boundaries as well, like, okay, we could be buddies, we could be boys, but at the same time, I am a development coach.
I think the biggest thing is understanding that we are serving. We're in a role of serving, right? I've always kind of told people,
I like that.
as coaches, we're really serving the greater good of the athletes that we work with, right?
Yeah.
We're helping them. I don't care what level. It could be high school kids, it could be college kids, it could be professionals, right?
Okay.
They're all trying to achieve some kind of goal.
Yeah.
So as coaches, we're helping them attain that. It's a
Okay.
collaboration.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing that I've always told a lot of coaches, for the athletes I've had a chance to work with, I'm not there to be their friend first. The relationships will come, but they've always come through the work that we've done on the floor. So, being present, understanding that as coaches and player development coaches is not about us.
Yeah.
It's about the athletes that we work with, and how can we help them? How can we help them reach their goals?
That's awesome. Who is your biggest inspiration, before we go on a quick break, who is your biggest inspiration to who you are now? I'm sure you had an idea or an idol or of some sorts, like.
My father, C.L. Handy Sr. was he was not an athlete.
Really?
My father could not shoot a layup, couldn't shoot a free throw, but what he was a hardworking man. He was very committed to his work, his family, and his work ethic is what lives inside of me. So he left a lot with me in terms of understanding how to have your work ethic be your calling card, so to speak. So he's a big inspiration for me and to me being here today.
Like that. Respect, sir. Respect. Let's take a quick break. More of our incredible conversation with the one and only Coach Phil Handy, assistant coach for the LA Lakers, 3-time NBA champion. More with Coach Phil in just a bit. Our guest today, 3-time NBA champion and Los Angeles Lakers assistant coach, Phil Handy, still here joining us today. Again, thank you, Coach, for being here, taking time off your very, very busy schedule. As I mentioned earlier, before we took a timeout, before we took that break, you've coached NBA stars, legends like, of course, the late, great Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. I'll get to that. I was browsing through your Instagram post when you asked him why is he being such a to his teammates. I'll get back. Kobe, Pau Gasol, LeBron James, Kyrie, AD, Kawhi, among others. Tell us, Coach, what were the most remarkable experiences that you've had? I'm sure you've had different with those players I mentioned. What is the most remarkable, something that you will never forget?
You know what, man? All of those guys that you named I think the most remarkable thing about all of them is their work ethic. Just incredible. And then their basketball IQ. Just really smart. These guys they have a lot of God-given talent, but you combine that with their work ethic, you combine that with their basketball IQ, and then the last piece, you combine that with their competitive spirit. Just incredible guys. But people think that they're these polarizing individuals. They're kids. They are kids. They're just like all of us in the sense of how they go about their day, the things that they like, and they're good human beings.
Kobe Bryant, we're seeing some pictures of him, the late great. You had a relationship with Kobe, and I saw your post, and then you were saying in a podcast, I believe, sharing this story. I hope it's okay if you can share with the Filipino fans. You asked him, because Kobe can be very, like MJ, like Michael Jordan when we watched The Last Dance. He could be very, very hard on his teammates. Same with Kobe. He was like, as you said, I can't say the word you used.
You know what? I'm sorry that I used that word too, because I think it gave a lot of people the misconception.
No. Of who he is. Okay.
It was more or less, he was a certain way with certain teammates. Kobe was if you got to know Kobe, he's a great dude, like really, really great dude. Like he really cared about people in his circle. The question that I was posing to him was, he would treat some of his teammates a certain way, and it was really something I didn't understand. And that
like
was
elbow Sasha Vujicic.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was one of those guys that he was a respecter of work, and if you were one of his teammates that didn't work, if you were one of his teammates that really tried to cut corners, that wasn't gonna fly for him. And so he really took it to a point of being serious with those type of guys to where he didn't feel like they respected their craft. You know, he was a guy that showed up early every day. You know, practice at 10, Kobe was in the building at 5 a.m. And, you know, he's ready to practice. So if he ever saw one of his teammates come into the building at, you know, 10 minutes before practice, he had a problem with that. You leave right after practice. He had a problem with that because he didn't feel like those guys respected the game. They didn't respect their craft. And so his mindset was, well, why should I respect you? And that's just some of the ways that people kind of saw it. And maybe people didn't really understand why. But when he broke down the answer of, you know, I put in a lot of time. I put in a lot of time on my craft.
So I get you.
I expect my teammates, maybe not the same amount of time, but be a professional at the highest level. And that was kind of his mindset with that.
How about LeBron James? And I heard also at the presser, they asked you about the 3 particular championships. The bubble championship recently, 2020 Lakers, 2019 with Kawhi and the Toronto Raptors, and then 2016 with Cleveland. What was your most memorable or your favorite? You said with Cleveland. Can you say why? And also, if you can share a story about LeBron James, who's like #1 now, #1 scoring leader in the NBA.
Yeah, man, Cleveland was, I mean, look, that's a historical championship. They all were in their own right. But being the first team to come back, being down 3-1, and
the Warriors.
Any of these athletes here in the Philippines, in the PBA, they're in their final series. You get down 3-1, they know how difficult that is. It's a difficult task to lock in at that. And the Golden State Warriors were, you know, a historical team. They had the best record of all time. So for us to be able to overcome that mountain in the fashion that we did, you know, LeBron winning his first championship in his hometown, back in Cleveland, Cleveland having his first championship in 70-something years.
Cleveland, this is for you.
It was, that was just an amazing experience. It was my first championship as a coach. You know, I'm born and raised in Oakland, so to be able to win that championship on that floor with my family and my friends, that was a big time feeling for me. I think the biggest thing about Bron, I always had this notion of LeBron. Never, you know, when he came to Cleveland, I didn't know him. His first year in Cleveland, and Bron, this was year 14 or so. He was in a place where during the regular season, he would really try to take care of his body. He would manage. He would still work hard and do the things he needs to do to play at a high level. But I could tell that he wasn't going full throttle. And I remember coaching that season. I was just like, this doesn't seem.
He's not going 100.
This doesn't seem right. And I remember there were times where I was like, okay, man, this guy's Bron. I expected something different. When we got into the playoffs that year, you saw the switch. And I actually had to apologize to him because I was, you know, doubting and questioning, you know, some of the ways he would go through the regular season. But he told me, he said, Phil, man, I used the regular season to get myself ready to play at the highest level I can play at. I want to be able to peak at the right time. And, man, that first year in the playoffs, I could see it. There was a vast difference in his his preparation wasn't the same, but there was a vast difference in his tick. There was just another level that he went through that most players are not able to get to. And I was really, really blown away by that. And I saw, like, okay, this is the greatness of LeBron James.
Coach, I still want to ask you, so you also said at the presser Kyrie, but we have to take a really quick break. You said Kyrie's like the most creative or talented, like interesting to coach. But more with Coach Phil Handy. We still have a few minutes left on the show. Let's take another quick break. Stay tuned to Sports Desk only here on CNN Philippines. And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Sports Desk only on CNN Philippines. NBA champion and assistant coach, one of the best, or if not the best, player development coach in the NBA, Coach Phil Handy, of course. So with the LA Lakers, you were saying, Coach? What were you saying?
Yeah, you and I are going to make a little wager. Make a little wager
on the World Cup?
On the World Cup.
Because here's the thing. Okay, we're live. For the benefit of the viewers, and this is regarding also related to my next question about the World Cup. Just a few weeks away, FIBA World Cup, which the Philippines will co-host, along with Japan and Indonesia. Okay, and the Philippines won just a single game in 2 World Cups. We're talking about the World Cup where you get to Team USA, but what do you think about, how big of a deal it is, the Philippines co-hosting, and then Team USA is coming, Greece is coming, all these other countries will coming?
Man, for the Filipino community, that's just the culture, right? Again, that's just people that have not been to the Philippines, that's going to be such an electric atmosphere. The World Cup, you get all these different countries. I might come back. I think
You should, for the World Cup.
It's going to be a phenomenal time here in the Philippines.
What should our national team do, to take it to the next level? I know we're in the training camp stages, but to at least compete with the best of the best.
That's a really good question. I think I would be better served to answer that if I had a chance to actually see the national team and spend some time with them. But I think national teams, right? The problem with a lot of national teams is being able to get the players together, to spend enough time together, and get some cohesiveness. So that's always an issue because you have players that play all over the place, they play all over the world. So when the national teams come together, there's only a small amount of time for guys to be able to play. And then sometimes maybe your best players are not playing. Maybe you might have somebody that's injured or somebody's missing. So being able to be whole is the start. And then how much time can they spend together with the coach and the staff to be able to build some cohesiveness. That's always a good start.
Yeah. Last question, Coach, before we go OT, overtime. Team USA, not a lot of stars, but the young players are there. Your thoughts? Even Austin Reeves, your player in the LA Lakers. And you said a wager. Go ahead.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Austin Reeves. His development and growth in the last couple of years, for him to be on this team, says a lot about what kind of kid he is. So we will make a wager.
What wager?
Well, we want. You want to come to a Laker game?
Yeah, I want to go to crypto.com. Okay.
If you win, I'll give you tickets to a Laker game.
Front row seats?
Yeah, we'll work on that.
I get to meet LeBron and AD? What's the wager?
I don't know about that part.
Okay.
We said a game.
Best restaurant here in the Philippines, my treat.
Bet. You
Beach.
heard that. Y'all heard that. Live. It's live.
Go to your camp quickly, Coach. When are the camps? Talk about the clinics, the camps coming their way.
Everything here in the Philippines, not really advertised, but we're here to help the coaches and the players. I want to share knowledge. I want to learn. So I'm looking forward to being able to spend time with everybody here.
One and only. A player development coach and assistant coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, three-time NBA champ with 2016 Cavaliers, 2019 Toronto Raptors, and 2020 Bubble Lakers. One and only Coach Phil Handy. Pleasure, man. Like your watch.
Thank you,
Coach.
Thank you.
Love you, man. Front row seats, the Laker game.